Well, hello, and welcome to my channel. Today we're actually going to be looking at the autopilot on a Tesla. Well, today I'm going to be showing you a little bit on how to use the autopilot, how it works, how you set it, how you change, or adjust the settings on it when you're driving. And I'm going to be doing this on a highway just because really that's the best use for it. It'll work on a regular road, and sometimes I'll use it if I know it's a pretty straight road. When it starts getting into roads with a lot of lights and stop signs and things like that, it's just not worth it because it won't stop at the stoplights or the stop signs. So mostly I use it on the highway, and that's what I'm going to be testing out today. All right, so we're actually on the road here. We are on 495 here in Maryland, so it's the highway here, and just showing you how the auto steer works. When you're on the road, the car will start picking up the different lanes, and it'll pick up different cars, and you can see them there on the dash. Now, what we'll do is, in order to put the car into autopilot, you'll take the stock and you will just pull it back twice, and then autopilot will activate. So autopilot's activated right now. I'm not pressing any of the pedals, so we're just driving along, and it'll tell me to apply slight pressure. You're supposed to never take your hands off the wheel, but those blue lines represent the lines that are on the road. So right now, as you can see, the car is slowing down on its own. And another feature that this has is you can actually set the distance between the car in front of you. Like right now, it's probably 3 cars. If you turn this dial here, it'll say 5 cars, 6 cars, whatever you want. So we'll set it to 2, so it follows closer. But the car is driving itself. It's, and the other thing is, right now, if you see, it says 55 miles an hour. If I push the stalk all the way up, it'll go, if I go all the way up, it'll go up to 60. Now, it keeps the velocity of the car in front of you. So, but if that car gets out of the way, then the vehicle will, go up to 60 miles an hour. Now, if you just slightly push it up, not all the way, it'll go up in increments of 1. Same thing, if you just halfway push it down, it'll go down from 65 max from 66 to 65. Now, if I push it all the way down, it'll go from 65 to 60. And that blue wheel, the steering wheel that's blue, is telling you that autopilot is engaged. And if you want to cancel this, you just push the stalk forward and it gets disengaged. So that's how that works. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull it twice again, and we'll be back at the regular autopilot. So that quickly is a way that that you can use. This is how you can use autopilot. It's pretty simple once you figure all the settings, and you can see that the car is doing what it's supposed to. I mean, I'm not using anything, no brake or steering. And what will happen is, if you keep your hands, I'm gonna try to see if I can do it. If you keep your hands off of the wheel, it'll tell you, it'll sense that your hand's not on the wheel because it won't have that slight resistance, and it'll tell you that you need to put your hand back on the wheel. Now I'm gonna try to see if I can do a lane change. I'm gonna put the signal, and the car's too close, so I'm going to deactivate that. It's accelerating, and then it's braking on its own. And then it goes on its own. So I'm going to do a lane change here. I'm going to cancel that. It's harder to do a lane change when there's just so many cars flying by. All right, you can see here what's giving you the warning at the bottom. Apply slight turning force. So I'm just gonna wiggle the wheel, and it should go away. There you go. So you can just go like that with the wheel, and it'll take the warning away, because you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. I just wanted to show you what happens if your hand's not on the wheel, the warning that you get. All right, so if you're driving and you just tap on the gas pedal, or you take over the wheel, it'll deactivate the autopilot like I just did. I just deactivated the autopilot just by accelerating and turning the steering wheel myself. Just got to make sure you can see everything is, the steering wheel. Whenever the white steering wheel appears that you see there, right to the right of the mile per hour, that tells you that all the sensors are working and that you can put the car into autopilot. So right now, as I'm driving, I can hit the stalk 2 times back, and it takes over. And it'll go around the curves. It'll steer itself. I'm not touching anything. And I gotta get rid of that turn signal. So the car will accelerate. Right now it's at 57. It'll keep a safe distance with the car in front of me, but it's steering itself. And all the autopilot's engaged. There's 2 blue lines on either side, just to let you know that it is picking up the lanes. And it's also keeping track of all the cars. Now, one fun thing for Christmas here is you can hit that ho ho ho. You say ho ho ho. It's Christmas time right now, so I guess it's. And if you notice, all the cars now turn into reindeer. So if it senses a car, it's a reindeer now instead of a car. And that music automatically plays. You got snow. And also, if you here, we'll do a lane change. So I'll hit left. It'll automatically change lanes. And when you're in Santa mode, it plays the sleigh bells. So we're gonna switch to the other side, and it automatically changes lanes. So that's a perfect example of how the lane change goes. Now, you can do this again, do ho ho ho, ho ho ho, comes up, and it will turn it back to the regular car. The other thing that you can do is you can actually go to the menus. Actually, this is a pretty big curve. We'll see how this goes. This is a 30 mile per hour or 50 mile per hour curve. So I'm keeping my hands on the steering wheel and seeing how the car takes this really, really big curve. It's just a good example of how the autopilot works and how it keeps you in your lane. As you can see, it took that pretty big curve at a pretty good mile per hour. Now here, we're gonna put, it didn't like the fact that I had my hand off the wheel. So I'm taking over now. I think that's because there was too many cars kind of coming into me on that curve. All right, another thing you can do is these Easter eggs that you can actually click on this cowbell button here. That'll do something else with the autopilot also. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the stalk 4 times. And when you do that, it'll start playing a song, and it'll do rainbows now, I guess for your road. All this music plays automatically. I gotta move the steering wheel. But those are just little Easter eggs. So, there's just little Easter eggs. You have the Santa Claus, and you have this rainbow cowbell, little option. So I gotta get off at this exit, so I'm gonna be taking over the steering wheel and taking over the gas. Well, there you have it. That's just been my quick video on how the Autopilot works, how to use it, the different options, the different features. I absolutely love the Autopilot. Every time on the Beltway, pretty much, I use it. It's something that there are some features that cars have. A lot of times they sound cool, they look cool, whatever, but when you're actually using them, or usually, driving, you just don't end up using them. But the Autopilot is one of those things that I definitely use on a regular basis, and it's probably the coolest feature on the car. Thank you for watching. Hope you, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, hit like, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Well, thank you. Take care. And I want to wish happy holidays to everybody. It's I think tomorrow is Christmas, the 24th. So I'll be celebrating with my family, and I just want to thank you all, those that have subscribed and that follow my channel, for all your support. Thank you very much.